Hey y'all, this is Coach in the Fight here. I am continuing this class that we're doing in the second part of the book called The Shepherd of Hermas. This particular section or this part of the book, the second part of the book is called Commands. We've already gone through we've gone through the introduction in the previous class. We've gone through Command 1, which is on believing in one God. We've gone through Command 2, which talks about avoiding detraction and doing alms deeds. You can catch these in other videos, guys, but right now we're on part 3. We're going to try to make it through this. People are trying to get to some what they think is more important stuff, but I promise you, Hermas is up there high on a list of importance. I promise you. So let's get on with it. Moreover, verse 1 says, Moreover, he said unto me, Love truth, and let all the speech be true which proceeds out of thy mouth. Okay, now I'm just talking about myself. And I'm gonna use a little bit of hyperbole here just for an example. Don't think too bad of me, but I tell lies. And all my life, we've been trained to tell lies. Why? Because you tell the truth, sometimes you get a whooping. You know what I'm saying? Did you break that? You'd have to think about it, because you're gonna get a whooping. So even from the age of about 4, we have been liars. We've all been liars. But he says. Let all truth proceed out of your mouth. He says that the spirit which the Lord has given to dwell in thy flesh may be found true towards all men. Now, this is one of them kind of verses that slips by you if you're reading it fast like I do. I don't really read verses. I don't really read chapters. I read whole books at a time. And when you're doing so, you kind of you go past verses sometimes, and you don't really get the essence of what it was trying to say in your haste. This is one of them. Let me go back. The spirit which the Lord has given to dwell in thy flesh may be found true towards all men. So he's saying that if you lie, your spirit lie. You don't believe me? Stay with me. Watch what happens. And the Lord be glorified. Okay, so when it says so you're making sure everything be truthful so that the Lord is glorified. And then we're talking about the spirit, and we got the Lord involved in your lying and my lying. Who has given such a spirit unto thee? Okay, so the Lord gave us the spirit. What's it say? Because God is true, and in all of his words, and in him there is no lie. I hesitate a lot of times, so guys, because I've read this book several times, and I know what's coming, and I don't want to spoil it for you, so I don't want to jump ahead in the verses. But what he's going to tell us here is that when we tell a lie, our spirit tells a lie. I'm not sure how many verses down in this thing, but he's going to tell us that when we tell a lie, the spirit tells a lie with us. It's like me and my spirit are standing there together, and when I tell my lie, I look over at the spirit and say, "Didn't I? Didn't I do that?" And my spirit, who is kind of attached to me, kind of gives this sheepish look and go ahead and agrees. Yeah, you did. Knowing it's telling a lie. So I've gotten my spirit in trouble. Is what it's saying here. Oh, well, it's what it's going to say here in a few minutes. Watch. They therefore that lie deny the Lord and become robbers of the Lord, not rendering to God what they receive from him. See, it's already coming. See, he's saying that when you tell a lie, you rob him. You steal it. When you tell a lie, you're messing up. You're doing something bad. He says, rendering to God what you received from him. So the Lord gave me a spirit. When he gave me this spirit, this was the most purest, holiest thing I've ever come in close contact with in my life. And yet by lying, I'm actually dirtying it up. I'm messing it up. And so when I get ready, after my materialistic journey here is over, and I get ready to put this body in the grave or a hole or a fire or wherever, my spirit then, my conscience, my spirit then is released, and when it stands up to be a be the real entity that it is, which is of course a lot bigger than me and my little 70 or 100 years here that I have on the planet. My spirit is a lot bigger than me. Well, when it's released from my flesh, it's going to be released. It's going to be dirty when it comes out. I've messed it up. I've defiled it, and so now my spirit tries to go back to heaven where it wants to be, where it started from and where it wants to go back to, and it finds out it can't because I lied and messed it up. So this is very important stuff. For they receive the Spirit free from lying. If therefore they make that a liar, if they make the Spirit a liar, they defile what was committed to them by the Lord and become deceivers. So we are harming our spirit. Now, a lot of us are new to this, spiritualist stuff where, I just found out I had a spirit, about 2 weeks ago, and now I'm realizing I done lied on it and I done messed it up. So that's what we're doing, Hermes, because he's gonna give us a solution to this. So stay with us. Don't get depressed or nothing. Remember, the Lord's here. He's gonna save everybody. Verse 5 says, "When I heard this, I wept bitterly, and when he saw me weeping," he being the angel, remember the guy that, came to him in the shepherd's garment. "When he saw him weeping, he said unto me, Why weepest thou? I said, Because, sir, I doubt whether I can be saved." And that's a lot of people here. um, well, I'd say about half or a third of us. A third of us are thinking, "Oh man, I've always been lying. I've been telling lies since, I told that first one when I stole a Kiki at 4 years old, and I've been lying ever since." And so, like Hermas, we're wondering, if we are going to be found left behind or found outside of the temple, outside of the courtyard because of our lying. And it's very well could be the case. But remember, we have to have faith and trust in the Lord, who's going to provide us remedies for all of our past deeds, no matter what you did in the past. You know what I'm saying? The Lord loves a contrite heart, a repentant spirit. So you could have been a murderous raper, in your past, but when you come to Him in a true repentant heart, you know, and He's going to forgive you. You're going to, have to go through some what we call it, reparations. You got to pay for it. You ain't gonna escape it, but you know what I'm saying. You'll pay for it. Hopefully you'll pay for it in the flesh, and this body of yours will of ours will get battered around a little bit, and then our spirit will live on and be free, which is what where we need to be anyway. Where we want to be anyway. This is not our home. Remember, we're only living here temporarily, and we're gonna go home. Well, when we get ready to go home, our spirit is what's going to carry us there. And if it's all, if that vessel is full of all holes and stuff, it may sink. So we got to take care of our spirit. And one of the ways we take care of our spirit is avoid lying. Avoid lying. Avoid it. It says, he said unto, wherefore I replied, Because, sir, I never spake a true word in my life, but always lived in dissimulation, and affirmed a lie for a truth to all men, and no man contradicted me, but all gave credit to my words. How then can I live, seeing I have done in this manner? Okay, so nobody really, everybody wants to assume innocence. So when you are in a business deal like Hermas is talking about here, and you are making shady claims against your product, not many people are going to fact check you and find out. They're kind of just going to go along with what you say, and that's what Hermas is saying here. I've been lying. It's been so easy to lie. Everybody just fell for my lies. I don't know if I could be saved because I've made it my part of my business practice to tell lies. Pretty much what he's saying here. Verse 7 says, And he said unto me, Thou thinkest well and truly, for thou oughtest, as the servant of God, to have walked in the truth, and not have joined an evil conscience with the spirit of truth, nor have grieved the Holy Spirit of God. So he's saying, yeah, you're right. You showing up right in what you're thinking here. You done did some bad stuff here. You just don't know, and you listening to your conscience. There's mashing on you right here, telling you you've done all this bad stuff. You're correct, and listening to it, you are in a bad way. Verse 8 says, this is Hermas, and I replied unto him, Sir, I never hearkened so diligently to these things. He answered, Now thou hearest them. Take care from henceforth, that even those things which thou hast formerly spoken falsely for the sake of thy business may, by the present truth, receive pardon. So basically what he's telling me is to stop lying. Okay? Now, I've admitted that I'm a liar, for the sake of this thing, But, the thing, you stop lying. You just don't tell no lie. Now, notice he don't say go back and correct the lie. You don't go back down there into your business and put a big sign up. Hermas ain't put a big sign up on his business. Now under new truthful management, he ain't gonna, try to correct all of the stuff in the past. Now under the truth, Come in here and it'll be a refund off all the lies that I've told. No, he's telling them to just stop lying. Just stop where you at and stop lying. Well, and become repentant. Herman seems to be already repentant here. But, once he becomes repentant, then the Lord has to forgive him. He's going to be forgiven. So, and it is not just lying, it's everything. Every sin that you committed that you're committing, once you stop it and become repentant, it's over. If it's a vice or something that may be a little harder, I used to smoke cigarettes, and I tell you, that was some hard junk to quit. I'm still quitting. I ain't really smoked a Newport in 8 years, but you know what I'm saying? It's any day now. And so some things are harder than others, but when you put it in the Lord's hands, He'll take care of it for us, and He'll give us options to live. Remember, He does love us for our current contrite and repentant heart and our future actions. He doesn't really hate us for our past actions. However, we will have to go through divine judgment for our past actions. It's like getting a whooping from, your parents. Once you got the whooping, you know what I'm saying, everything, goes back to being normal. Well, we got a whooping coming. For even those things may be forgiven, if for the time to come thou shalt speak the truth, and by so doing thou mayest attain unto life. Okay, so he's saying if you start speaking the truth, even the lies you've told in the past will be forgiven. But the thing is, Hermas has told, so many lies, but now he's going to stop lying, and all of the lies that he's told are going to be forgiven. So how's that going to happen? It's like poof, it goes away. Verse 10 says, and whosoever shall hearken unto these commands and do it, and shall depart from all lying, he shall live unto God. Now, notice, mind this part, live unto God. I'm not going to tell you what. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Live unto God is a statement that he's going to define later. It's a phrase that he's going to define later. So we're going to end it there. Stay tuned for the next shows. We're going to go on to 4 next. We're going to end this one here. We're trying to keep these short. I'm trying to make them through it. Jesus is Yehoshua HaMashiach. Hermas Academy. Power, patience, continence, and faith. We teach virtue.